What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today in this video we're going to be focusing on the Sparrow Racing League section and the whole SRL part of the Dawning. Obviously there are a lot of different aspects to this DLC event, like there's gear, the exotics, the strikes, the quests, all the other stuff I've already covered in different videos, but a big part is of course the SRL section, so I'll be talking about everything you need to know, the record book, the rewards in it, the ornaments, new tracks, sparrows, and everything else with this SRL mode. So the actual SRL gameplay you're going to be seeing in the background is from another Destiny YouTuber called Blesius. He kind of sent me this footage to show you guys, so massive thanks to him. And of course you can find his videos in the description if you want to see the full races from start to finish. So let's go over the maps real quick. There are 4 of them, as I've said. The first one being Hakon's Precipice. This is this Plaguelands map you're seeing right now. There's also Shining Sands, the Mercury map, which we'll look at a bit later. There's also, of course, Infinite Descent, the Venus one from last year that's been remade very slightly. It's not the exact same track. It's got a little bit different tweaks to it. I don't think there's any gameplay of that so far, but of course that's going to be featured in SRL as well. And then finally, the 4th map is, of course, Campus Martius, which is the Mars map from last year that's also been remade slightly as well. So if we look through the new record book from the Dawning event, we can see a similar layout to before. It's worth noting that this book is absolutely free, doesn't cost anything like last year, and this book isn't just for SRL, it includes things like strikes and the Dawning event as a whole, but a good chunk of it is of course focused towards the Sparrow Racing section. This footage is actually from Messer Sean once again, who actually recorded this record book in each element, so again a massive thanks to him. So if we look through, we can see the first emblem, the Signet of Speed, also 3 SRL ornaments, which is new. We'll take a look at those in a second. A shader, there's also a consumable called a tag, which is quite interesting. This is Amanda's tag, and nobody knows exactly what you do with these just yet. Possibly you take it to her, or maybe you use it and something happens, but either way, that's quite cool. We also have a GG or good game emote, which is really awesome. Definitely love the idea of kind of positivity in the Crucible and saying good game to people, so definitely a very good idea there. There's also Zer's tag, also interesting. The Nightbird Sparrow with the flames all over it. There's Saladin's tag, another shader, and another emblem. So we can also see some of the SRL records you'll need to complete, which are very basic and kind of what you'd expect. There's complete Sparrow races, pass through gates, land tricks, kill enemies on the track, and beat par times for the tracks, all 4 of them of course. There's also another section for earning points and medals in the strike scoring section, which of course is all going to help you rank up and get those rewards. So talking about those ornaments that you saw in the record book, unfortunately they're not as interesting as you might expect. They're not like completely changing the armor or adding some crazy glowing effect. So what these really do is they essentially change the geometry very subtly of the actual gear. They basically swap between the different kind of variants of armor we've had previously. So they kind of subtly change the trim of the armor and like little kind of lips and things that stick out. Very subtle and very hard to notice. Kind of like the big kind of horns that were on the Hunt helmet last year. You basically toggle those on or off. One thing that is really cool about the armor this year is you might remember the cloak for the Hunter last year, which is basically 2 bits of toilet paper hanging off. You can actually change the colors of those, they're not blue anymore. So they're essentially activated by chroma now, so you can pick what color you want those bits of toilet paper to be hanging off your shoulder. And of course they're going to work for your Warlock Bond and your Titan Mark as well. So to reiterate some of the basic points about SRL this year that a lot of people still ask questions about, essentially it is going to be a permanent mode from now on, and it will be available in private matches. Of course it won't have the decorations or the rankings, the loot drops, because obviously the winter event will be over by then, but you can still play it in private matches. Of course only rewards will be like motes and blues and stuff like that, but you can still play SRL. I can't imagine many of you watching this video don't, but for whatever reason, if you don't have Rise Vine yet, SRL will still also be available to you as a permanent feature in private matches too. The only difference is that you can only play the Mars and Venus maps from last year, so not the 2 ones, the Mercury and Plaguelands. I'm assuming most of you watching this video will own Rise Vine, but if you don't have it, that's essentially what's going to happen. So something else to note is that new Holiday Kiosk that we got during the festival event, that's now going to have an SRL section where you can see your full selection of Sparrow Racing gear that you've earned. I guess this is once again to ease storage space, and with this event you're likely to be holding a lot of this new gear, so I think Bungie kind of know that by now a lot of year 1 players have got nearly full vaults, so at least it's nice to see they're adding all this new stuff, and also kiosks to kind of like store it all. So when the event actually comes, feel free to delete pretty much all of your gear, but I would not advise deleting it now because you'll probably lose it all, like your mask. It won't be stored in the actual kiosk. But of course when the event actually goes live on the 13th, you can then feel free to delete all your gear because it will be saved in that bank of your kiosk. And it seems like with all of these DLC events, they're pretty much going to have new stuff in these holiday kiosks, and it basically stops our vaults from overflowing with all this holiday gear. So something else I want to show off is of course the new Sparrows we can collect in this event, the ones we know of at least. There could possibly be some other secret ones to unlock, but right now these are the ones we know of so far. I've never personally that bothered myself about Sparrows, but I know some people are really into them, so I thought we'd take a look. We've got the Prismatica, which appears to be like black and blue themed. We've got the Firefly. This one actually rotates colors. All those kind of like Tron lines around the outsides, those kind of flicker through in different variations of colors. There's also the Bitfire, which actually has this flaming effect, very similar to the Jealousy we saw in Festival. This, of course, is red and it's got flames on it. There's also the Bitstorm, which is basically electrical. There's the King's Touch, which is the solid gold one, which is definitely one that I'm interested in the most, and I want to find out how you actually get this thing. It definitely looks very impressive in my opinion. There's also the Phantasm, basically green, Mirage, Sunstroke, Lava Bird. Most of these seem pretty boring in my opinion, nothing too special. There's also Glimmer Gold, which is pretty cool in my opinion. It's got a winter theme to it. And finally, Poison Apple, which is basically just red. So there you go. Those are some of the Sparrows to expect. And that's, of course, in addition to the one I showed earlier in the record book. So that is just about everything you need to know about the new SRL specific portion of the Dawning event. Of course, I've already made videos talking about the other aspects, the exotics, the strikes and stuff like that. So be sure to look around the channel if you missed them and stay tuned for more videos as we get more news and gameplay of the event. Once again, a big thanks to Blesius for sending me his footage that he recorded at PSX. If you want to see more of the footage he recorded, I'd highly recommend you check him out. And it makes really great content overall, so check the links in the description if you want to see more of his videos. As always, if you enjoyed this video, then a like rating would be much appreciated, and you can subscribe so you don't miss out on my future videos. Of course, Iron Banner begins tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.